this is a higher stakes injury because this team is still trying to do something. LeBron, after playing through, so LeBron against the Mavericks, we heard him say, I can't remember if that was the fourth quarter I was watching or if it was just the second half, but whatever. Said he heard something pop and then finished the game against the Mavericks. And the Lakers ended up, they were trailing by as many as, was it like, whatever it was, 27 points or whatever. And they ended up coming back to win. But the right foot injury that he played through is now, per Shams Charania, serious. Like this is Shams' tweet. There's fear Lakers star LeBron James is likely to miss an extended period of time with his right foot injury. James suffered the injury in Sunday's win over Dallas, played through it, and the belief is he will be sidelined an indefinite amount. He also quote tweeted saying James miraculously played through the injury that is now expected to require multiple opinions, and the Lakers are bracing for his absence to be multiple weeks. This is catastrophic. I think people are going to be, and they went all in at the trade deadline, gave up that first round pick. One, they didn't go all in. That was just look at what Jared Vanderbilt is doing right now. That was a no-brainer trade. This fucking sucks, though. I heard a pop, immediately makes me think of an Achilles. There's no way he tore it, because if he tore it, ruptured it, whatever, and then played the rest of the game, this dude is an alien. We already thought he was an alien, but like, you can't, no. We saw, like, no. It's just no. You can't. I refuse to believe it's that. It can't be that. I'm not a doctor, but you hear a pop, you think Achilles, but you know that it couldn't have been that bad, I would think, at least, because how the hell did he finish the game? He was not moving the same afterwards, from what I could tell, but like there were a couple of possessions where he just got through Dallas's defense, which I guess really isn't saying much, but he's still going downhill, still putting some pressure on it. So yeah, I guess that would be the silver lining here. I want to make two things clear. If LeBron is somehow done for the season, or by an indefinite amount, they mean most of the regular season, the Lakers are done. They might have been done, cooked to begin with, but I had them getting into the play-in after the trade deadline. And that looks a little bit better now because New Orleans has just decided to suck it up without Zion on offense. They can't hit threes and don't want to play Trey Murphy enough, even though he can hit threes. Someone explained that to me, especially when teams just aren't guarding Herb Jones at this point. The Jazz, they don't care about this season, and yet they're still just like kind of chugging along and winning. Their schedule the rest of the way is not terrible. We need to talk about the strength of schedules in the Western Conference. The Suns are the only team, as of now, this will change, but as of now, as of entering Tuesday, February 28th, the Suns are the only team in the Western Conference with one of the 10 most difficult schedules in the league remaining on their slate. That's actually sort of weird. So the Jazz sadly have the second hardest schedule remaining in the West, and their opponent winning percentage is 51% right now. That's the 17th hardest schedule overall, unless playoffstatus.com is lying to me. That's pretty wild. The Lakers have the third hardest schedule in the West, but their opponents have won a combined, excuse me. Oh, see, I'm reading this wrong. This is why. So disregard everything I just said. The Lakers have the second easiest schedule in the league remaining. That's, their opponents have won a combined 48% of their games. That's good. That's good for the Lakers. So that might give them some margin for error here. There aren't enough teams in front of them that you look at and saying, oh, they're fucked or they're not going for it. That makes you believe they can still back into a play-in spot. The Thunder with the Shea injury, that is something to watch for. They've had the best offense in the NBA since January 1st. Though, if he's going to miss an extended period of time, okay, you're technically in front of them right now. Maybe you stay there. Then who? You still need to leapfrog two more teams. I think with the Zion injury, maybe you feel good about leapfrogging the Pelicans. I do not trust the Blazers. They really shit the bed at the trade deadline, in my opinion. I don't trust the Timberwolves either. I don't know if you can trust the Jazz, but or the Warriors, but you need to leapfrog. The West top six to me is pretty much set, even though I guess Dallas and Golden State are tied. I can't say that. There's 3 losses separating 13th place Oklahoma City from 4th place Phoenix. So I need to shut the fuck up there. Still, I do think, while I wouldn't guarantee it, let's just say LeBron is done for the next 15 games or whatever. I don't have this knowledge. I've been waiting. I saved this for last in the podcast because I was hoping for some clarity on what was going to happen. But no, we don't have anything extra on LeBron. So if this comes out, it's dated. I apologize. Let's just say he misses 15 games. This Lakers team is not definitely done. If he's not going to play again, no, they're not going to make any noise in the playoffs or whatever. But they're not absurdly cooked without him. This is not the same team that they were before the trade deadline. And we saw it. The way that they came back against Dallas, there was that game against Golden State last week where LeBron had a bad game, AD had a bad game, D'Angelo Russell got injured. and they still beat the Warriors. Granted, it was, the partial Warriors, but still, that's not a game they would have won pre-trade deadline. Russell dealing with an ankle injury right now. He did not play against Dallas, but I don't think it's believed to be serious. So you're going to have him. That's someone who could create his own shots. He's been statistically one of the best pull-up three-point shooters in the NBA this year. And now you have you can build sensible lineups without LeBron. You can envision surviving on offense. The lineup of Davis, D'Lo, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and Troy Brown Jr., they appeared in 2 games together so far. They've played 9 minutes. They're plus 12. They're not going to shoot 65% from the floor forever. But that's a lineup that could work. Troy Brown Jr. has kind of had some sneaky good minutes, by the way. But having the Jared Vanderbilt shot of adrenaline to where you can lean on him at the 5. We've seen some I don't want to frame it in this way, but we've seen some frisky flickers. Can I call them that? Can we go with frisky flickers? Very few frisky, or let's say limited frisky flickers from Mo Bamba since he has arrived in LA. And so that's something that could help you there. Just that's depth. Rui Hachimura, comfortable getting to his own spots in the mid-range. That's something you can look at. I know people hate Dennis Schroeder, but over the 6 games that the Lakers have played since the trade deadline, through which they're 4-2, 37.5% from 3, not taking nearly enough from them, hitting a very high percentage of his 2-point looks. Again, waxing and waning there, but you still have, and he's dishing out 6.2 assists against 1.2 turnovers during that span. That's a great assist to turnover ratio. You can float this team. Austin Reeves, we know he's been great connectively for the Lakers all season. Lonnie Walker already subtweeting how his role has declined post trade deadline. That's probably going to tick up a little bit now that LeBron is going to miss some time, maybe. Like I already mentioned with Mo Bamba, not shooting the 3 ball well, but there's just been flickers and flits, let's call them, grabbing more rebounds, that really just hitting the glass well in there. I think there's still someone as a standstill rim protector that gives you value. Anthony Davis, he's, even when he's not having his best games, it's still just absolutely dominant. He was huge down the stretch against Dallas. You have a deeper roster than you did beforehand, a more competent one that can work without LeBron James. And so with the schedule not being too absolutely unequivocally brutal down the stretch, again, you have the second easiest one in the league. That's going to help you out as well. And so immediately, tough matchups against Memphis on Tuesday, but then you have OKC without Shea, probably Minnesota, which is still going to be without Karl Anthony Towns and been all over the place. The Warriors, probably still without Steph. What's going on with Draymond and Andrew Wiggins at that point? The Grizzlies again, the Raptors have perked up, the Knicks. That stretch is tough. But then you get the silhouette of the Pelicans, the Rockets, the Mavs will be tough. The Magic are percolating. You have the Suns then in the middle of March. OKC again, is Shea back at that point? 2 games against Chicago. That's probably a gift. Minnesota, Houston, Utah, the Clippers, the Suns, the Jazz. It's not you look at it and go through those teams. The league is so deep. You could very much envision this going super poorly for the Lakers. At the same time, it's sort of I feel if you have Beasley and Anthony Davis and D'Angelo Russell, you should be able to cobble together enough offense. And then just because you have, by virtue of having Anthony Davis, I assume your defense is going to be pretty much fine. That this is not unnavigable. And even in just the short time that we've seen Russell, Beasley, and Davis play together without LeBron, plus 37.5 net rating. It's been so few possessions. What's interesting is the offense has been dog shit during that time. It's been the defense that's carried them. So I think that just gives you hope. And I would just throw Vanderbilt in there. Those are your 4 best players on the roster, which is wild to say that the Lakers didn't have, or 4 of your 5 best players. The Lakers didn't have 3 of their top 5 players right now before the trade deadline. And so that's I know the Vanderbilt Davis fit isn't perfect, but Vanderbilt is just everywhere. Shot of adrenaline, going to hit the glass, can defend point of attack, good play finisher. You can get Anthony Davis to at least stretch the floor a little bit in theory, and he can work from the outside in with the ball in his hands. It's not, those aren't minutes that you should shy away from, and they could just be borderline dominant. I don't know what they've been with the 2 playing together. I think the most I've seen them play together since the trade deadline was that Dallas game. And I would assume the minutes were mostly killer since a lot of it came as they were racing the deficit. Lakers have been a plus 18.8 points per 100 possessions when those 2 play together. Lean into your top 4 players, fill it out as you must. I like Troy Brown Jr. the most. Maybe I trust Dennis Schroeder, I guess, more than the consensus at this point. Austin Reeves, those are 3 guys who can fill some of those wing minutes, perimeter minutes, since Schroeder's not a wing. that makes this work. And so I'm not ready to declare the Lakers done, not going to make the plan. We also don't know the severity of LeBron's injury. What makes me nauseous is he's played so well this year. I think if the season ended today, he'd probably finish in the top 10 of the MVP ballot, which is sort of just like this afterthought, given that the Lakers are sub 500. But the dude is age 38. The Lakers have been banged up at points. I respect what they did at the trade deadline still. I don't think that was a mistake. That was just as much to me about not just next season, but beyond when you're looking at some of the players they picked up as it was about this year. And so you still have cover in that. I don't think the Lakers are finished. If LeBron's done for the year, I think that might just suck the wind out of them to where they don't make the play-in. But if you told me that they're going to get him back inside 5 games to play for the year, I think I might just predict that they're going to make the play-in anyway. That might say more about the state of the Pelicans, of the Blazers to me. Even though Dame just dropped 71 points on the Rockets, he's spectacular. The Blazers just fucking, again, shit the bed at the deadline. They had me cursing twice in the same sentence. I think that says more about it says just as much about my distrust in the rest of the West, the teams in front of the Lakers, as it does about the Lakers themselves. But this is not a season ender for them. If you thought the Lakers are going to win the championship, LeBron's done for the year, and we need to have the conversation about, well, what the hell happens from here on out? Yeah, that's going to be awkward. I won't have that conversation just yet because we don't know the real extent to his injury. The indefinite amount classifier, though, certainly makes me nervous